Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, so as you know, another week, another episode of the X-Files, until apparently the next 3 weeks, which we're having a random break of the X-Files. Anyways, this week's episode was called Kitten. Kitten was a more or less grounded in reality episode. It was more about Skinner's past, and as you guys know, I do delve into some light spoilers in this review, so you've been warned. So Skinner's past, he was on an operation where they were experimenting with a gas. This gas went off and caused Haley Joel Osment's character to go kind of crazy, and they hallucinate a monster. And of course it's not a monster, it's just hallucination. But now we've had these random monster monster sightings in this town, and Skinner's gone missing. So this sounds like a job for our team. And this episode kind of bored me. I didn't find it all that interesting. I hope you guys did. But personally, I didn't think it was great. Especially compared to how good last week's was. What bugged me was it just, nothing jumped out. Haley Joel Osment felt really shooed in because he ultimately plays his dad in the past, and then he plays his own son, because obviously Haley Joel Osment is not old enough to be from Vietnam. So it didn't work, and then it turned into a serial killer story, which I love serial killer stories, but it felt really fillery, and I love the fact that it was more grounded in reality. It just happened to have this hallucinogenic gas, which was like a government conspiracy, and that was cool because they based that off of some actual X-Files in real life. But at the same time, I can't escape the fact that it was a generic Criminal Minds episode, which I love the show Criminal Minds, as you guys know, but this is like one of those episodes that's like, out of the 25 episode season, it's like episode 19, and they're just kind of throwing something at the screen. It just felt generic. I mean, Skinner gets injured, and Mulder and Scully have to go get him, and they go and investigate this house, and then it's like, oh, well, he's obviously a bad dude, let's go in there, boom, it's over. Alright, cool. Nothing was special about this episode. They try and leave it on a cliffhanger, and it's like, oh, we gotta go get answers, everybody. And it's like, do we really have to have this story? I mean, yeah, I guess you can show Skinner's past. It didn't feel like it was needed. None of this episode felt necessary. Which is why if you saw on my Stardust channel, from the Stardust app, I gave it a 2 out of 5, because there was something I enjoyed, which was the serial killer aspect of it. I love that it was ultimately a serial killer. But they go to this town, every character's a cartoon character, and it didn't work for me. None of it worked. So, I mean, the one saving grace of it is that it's this interesting serial killer story that's not actually a monster story. It's just kind of this hood that he dons. But at the same time, it's like, oh, Haley Joel Osment is his own dad and son because they wanted to use Haley Joel Osment for reasons. And all in all, it's like it's one thing after another that you're just like, this episode didn't even need to happen. So that's really all I gotta say about it, is ultimately, yeah, they get him, Skinner pulls his tooth out because, yes, it's actually happening, they're actually testing this gas on the American people. So, yeah, ultimately, nothing was important, nothing was needed in my opinion, and this episode just felt kind of like a random filler episode. So, what did you guys think of the episode? Did you guys enjoy this episode more than I did? Don't forget to like and subscribe, got plenty more videos coming to you. Love you guys.